is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Ohio.
Good news. The Indians swept the Tigers in the Motor City for the first time in 8 years. The bad news, Carlos Carrasco is heading to the DL. Better news, Michael Brantley is back as the Tribe visits the Twin Cities. Last year's surprise in the AL Central has been this season's disappointment so far. Danny Salazar looks to keep the Twins troubled next on Sports Time Ohio. The Indians make their first visit of the year to Target Field in downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's a 3-game series between the Tribe and their Central Division rivals, the Twins. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. We had an inkling, or at least we had a pretty good idea, that Michael Brantley was going to come off the DL, be activated in time for this series here in Minnesota. What we didn't count on was Carlos Carrasco going down yesterday in Detroit. Now it looks like he'll be gone for a while.
Boy, unfortunately, you know, things have a way of working out, but we didn't want to see it this way. Carrasco blows out a hammy going to cover first base. A moderate strain in his left hamstring right there. He's out for at least 4 to 6 weeks, hopefully. And then Michael Brantley here, September 22nd last year, he injured his right shoulder. He'll finally be coming off the DL. So the moves that are going to be made, Carrasco goes on, Brantley comes off. He's not in the lineup tonight. We may see him as a pinch hitter. I'm sure he may be in there tomorrow for sure. But Michael is back. That's a good thing, and I'm sure the Indians are happy to have him back.
And Trevor Bauer, in the meantime, will take Carlos Carrasco's spot in the Indians starting rotation. Now, the Minnesota Twins, a lot of people looked at them as a team on the rise. It hasn't happened so far this year. In fact, they've lost 10 out of 11 on the road, but now they're back home where at least they're a 500 club.
Well, and yesterday was a crushing blow. They had 2 times to win that game yesterday. 16 innings. That cost them. The walk-off home run in Washington. They got home about 11 o'clock last night. They're going to have to dig deep. I think the Indians, if they can, get an opportunity to get them down today and, and beat them and keep them down. In their first 9 games, they had a tough time scoring. They were 0-9, and that's tough to come back from. They got a young team, but since then, they're 5-5. And we know Minnesota, they're always going to play you tough. They're never going to quit. So that's why I want to see the Indians get the early lead and take advantage of them.
Well, we'll be back with tonight's first pitch coming up in just a bit. But first, Alan Jensen will take it away from the studio when we come back. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. cloudy in downtown Minneapolis tonight, but it's dry after raining all afternoon long here. So the good news is we're going to play this ball game. Bad news is it will be less than ideal for the hitters tonight, as the Indians take on the Minnesota Twins. And this has been a tough matchup for the Tribe. Minnesota won 7 of the last 9 head-to-head with the Indians a year ago. For Minnesota, it's been a rough go to start the year. They're 5-14, coming off a road trip in which they lost 4 out of 5. But they're hoping to turn the mojo around here at home, where they're 4-4. And they're paying tribute to the late Prince, who passed away recently. And purple will be the theme of the night. Let's go down to our Purple Rainmaker, Andre Knott.
Yes, purple will be the theme of the evening here at Target Field, as this is the first game the Twins will play since the music icon and the Minnesotan Prince passed away last week. Each player on each team will have a purple wristband on tonight. Each Minnesota Twins player will come up with their at-bat music will be Prince music. Throughout the evening, we will hear Prince music. They'll play a lot of the different things on the scoreboard will be purple themed. And also in the 7th inning, it'll be Little Red Corvette that's played during the 7th inning stretch. I haven't found out that Terry Francona has some favorite Prince songs. Party Like It's 1999 and When the Doves Cry, 2 of his favorites. Should be a very interesting night here in Minnesota as they lay rest to Prince.
Is there any chance we'll see Morris Day in the Time?
Ooh, am I going to get Jerome with the mirror? If so.
Exactly.
There you go. I want that.
All right, Indians and the Twins getting ready to rock and roll here tonight. And the Indians have won 3 straight. They're 2 over the 500 mark at 9-7. And again, Minnesota's a team that, like where we just came from, Detroit. The Indians have to do a better job this year beating the teams in the division. And for whatever reason, Minnesota really had their number, especially down the stretch last year.
Well, they did last year, but I'll tell you what, they're really struggling this year. And they're coming up, and they have a depleted bullpen after yesterday's 16-inning ball game. I think it's very important, and it's been this way for the Indians this year. Get the lead early, get them down, and they may not have a lot of fight in them left today.
Twins take the field wearing red tops with red hats. I don't know if I've seen this look when we've played them head-to-head.
Well, we've had the red tops before. I think they only wear them 4 or 5 times a year, but I don't know about the red hats.
Take a look at Terry Francona's starting lineup tonight. It's brought to you by Progressive. Rajai Davis will lead it off. He's riding an 8-game hitting streak. Jason Kipnis batting second. Francisco Lindor will hit third. Mike Napoli, Carlos Santana, Yan Gomes occupy the middle third. Then it's Marlon Byrd, Juan Uribe, and Jose Ramirez.
Our Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher for the Minnesota Twins is going to be Tommy Milone. He's a 29-year-old left-hander making his 4th start this year. Coming off a start against the Brewers, he only went 4 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits and 4 runs. He left with only allowing 1, but the bases loaded and 2 outs, and the bullpen gave up the 3 runs. So he had a no decision in that game. But in his career against the Indians, 2-0 last year with a 253, 3-1 in his career, and every time he starts against them, Minnesota plays pretty well. Let's set the defense behind Milone tonight. It looks like this. It's Arcia in left field. Santana is in center. Sano over in right. Nunez at third. Escobar at second. Dozier is at first. Dozier at second. Park is at first. Suzuki behind the plate.
Jeff Nelson will call the balls and strikes. He's the crew chief. Doug Eddings at first. Laz Diaz at second. Ben May down at third. Rajai Davis steps in, and we're underway as Tommy Milone delivers a first pitch strike.
And Milone tops is about 87 miles an hour. He's not overpowering. He's a guy that has to use control, change speeds.
A little bit low, 1-1.
Very patient. Take him the other way.
Popped up, back and out of play.
The Indians do have a few players that have hit very good against him. Kipnis, 6 for 15. Santana, 5 for 15. Napoli. Rajai, 4 for 13. So we'll see how it turns out.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
So far, all fastballs. He's just moved them in and out. There's the changeup.
Strikes him out, 1 away.
You look at it, the only changeup he saw in the at bat, and it's going to be down and away. It looks like the fastball, and all of a sudden it just disappears. It's about 5, 6, 7 miles an hour slower than the fastball, so same arm speed.
Jason Kipnis has hit in 4 straight games. And he takes a strike. When Michael Brantley returns to the lineup, and we expect that to be tomorrow, he's available to come off the bench tonight. I'll be curious to see where Jason Kipnis winds up in the batting order. 1-1, caught the inside corner.
Oh, you can go a number of ways with it. You can lead him off. You could keep him in the number 2 hole. You may want, with Michael coming back, he could hit 3rd. He could hit 4th.
Swung on and missed. Good pitch by Malone. Look at the slow hook. Back-to-back strikeouts to start tonight. Keys to the game are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Keep the road momentum rolling. The Indians have won 6 out of 8 away from home. And against Brian Dozier, a hitter who can hurt you. High fastball. I don't know. I mean, yeah, but be careful because he can hit the high fastball.
Well, that's exactly it. He has good numbers against Salazar, 500 with a couple of home runs, because when you throw a high fastball, he's one of the best at it, at getting up there on it.
So should that have read no high fastballs?
Yeah, don't. Yeah, the high fastball. In other words, don't throw it.
Lindor gets one, crushes it to deep center. Santana back. He's got a lot of room. Big center field. And Danny Santana runs it down to end the inning. The Indians go in order. The Twins are coming to bat. Fresh off their sweep of the Tigers in Motown, the Indians here at Target Field tonight to take on the Twins. Bottom of the first. Paul Molitor's starting lineup tonight will feature 4 left-handed bats, including Joe Mauer, who hits 3rd, Oswaldo Arcia batting 6th, Eduardo Escobar and Danny Santana, a couple of switch hitters. But overall, it's a lineup outside of Joe Mauer that's really struggling right now. Ricardo Nunez. Hits that ball hard, deep right field, down the line, and foul ball.
Caught a break right there. He put a good swing on it. This guy's actually been swinging it very, very well. Let's check out the Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher Danny Salazar in his 3 starts. He's been very, very good. 2 wins on the road, the 1 loss at home in his last start against Seattle. You remember, it was 1 pitch that cost him a ball game in his last start, the triple by Aoki down the right field line. It was a 2-1 ball game. That was it. Other than that, he could very easily be 3-0. He's been outstanding. 18 in the 3rd innings, 23 strikeouts, 9 walks. Opposition not hitting much, and left-handers are really struggling against Danny. Just 3 for 39.
A little bit too low.
Good pitch.
Painted it on the outside edge.
Yeah, as a hitter, you don't see it. He creates that angle where it comes, and it's down and away, and I'll tell you what, it was a perfect pitch.
And the 2-2 went right back down there and didn't miss by much.
That one might have been a little low, but I'll tell you what, it was about the same pitch. It's tough for a hitter not to swing at that when it was called just the pitch before, but it was a little low.
Full count. The payoff, he reached for it, chased ball 4, and Kipnis will have to hurry. He just did. Get the ball to first before Nunez got to the bag, 1 away.
Check out the Indians defense, brought to you by Jeep. It's Ramirez in left, Davis at center, Bird over and right, Uribe at 3rd, Lindor at short, Kipnis at 2nd, Napoli at 1st, Gomes catching.
And that will bring up Brian Dozier. Currently below the 200 mark.
Well, here's a guy, you know, probably when they get off to a slow start. Minnesota Twins have a young team. They've got young players, and you know, sometimes when you get off to a tough start, that it's just tough to recover. They don't have veterans around, but you can see Dozier's number in his career against Salazar. He likes that fastball, and he likes it up.
Arcia in the driver's seat. But, you know, overall, Dozier's numbers against the Indians, a .230 average, but 11 home runs. So he's done some solo shot damage.
Yeah, he gets into, you know, hitting homers now, I think, instead of, you know, getting on base and make things happen. I think for the Twins' 17 home runs, 14 have been solo shots. But this is a young Minnesota Twin team. I really think, and it's early, and I know they've struggled, but they miss Torrey Hunter, in my opinion. That's a guy that took a lot of pressure off Paul Molitor because he was playing, and he was playing at a very high caliber.
3-0 bullseye with a fastball. Just that was straight. Here we go. Mano y mano. And the fastball above the belt, usually a spot where Dozier can handle it, but he couldn't catch up to that heat. And on the 3-2, he lifts it to center field. Rajay Davis makes the catch, and there are 2 down.
A way to come back and get the out.
Up comes Joe Mauer. Oh, steady as she goes, Joe, hitting .328 to start the year. He's a career .330 hitter against the Indians.
Yeah, he's third in the league in walks. He has 15, leading the league in on base percentage at .452.
I know, Rick, that when players sign big contracts, expectations are raised, and if they don't meet those, Sometimes it's looked upon as a bad sign or a bad contract. You know, this guy's just been he's always been consistent. He is what he is, which is a high average hitter. He's just not a big power guy.
When they signed him to that big deal, though, he was behind the plate catching and doing a good job. But when you don't have power and you're at a corner position, it's a big deal. You can hit 320 as a catcher, and you catch every day, and
not hit a lot of home runs.
And not hit a lot of home runs, and you're doing a great job. If you handle the staff, you throw out base runners, you call a good game. You get out there at first base, and I think there's been a lot of disappointment in Mauer, because I think last year they tried to get him to hit some home runs or get, you know, drive in some more runs, and I think they've been disappointed in him. He's consistent, I will say that. He doesn't change. Got a very good eye. He'll take that base hit to left field with the best of them and doesn't try to pull the ball.
Twins general manager Terry Ryan.
Did you see they brought Gardy back?
I did not.
Yeah, they brought him back. They sure did. To, you know, help out, go do some minor league stuff, but he's going to be an assistant to Terry Ryan now. Ron Gardenhire, I'm talking about, the former manager of the Minnesota Twins, who Paul Molitor replaced.
I'm a little surprised with all the success that Gardy had as a manager that he didn't get another opportunity right away.
Well, you know what? He may have, but never accepted it. You know, maybe not to his liking.
True, yeah. Payoff pitch. Mauer sends one high in the air, foul territory. Ramirez gives it a look but can't get there. Neither can Uribe. Nice grab on the bounce. Young man going up the stairs, so he's got to negotiate the stairs, and he caught it on the bounce.
Athletic kid.
Yeah.
You watch it take a big skip, and he's going to run right up the stairs to catch it. There he goes. 1, 2, 3, and on the jump. That's like a long three-point shot coming off the rim. He got the rebound and the ball.
Salazar again, the 3-2. And Mauer crunches it to the gap. That'll be a two-bagger for Joe Mauer. Woo. He pulls in with a 2-out double, his 4th on the year.
Well, he didn't have any trouble catching up to that 96-mile-an-hour fastball. He drilled it in the gap, and he challenged him. That one is center cut, right down the middle. Drives it into right center, and he will cruise into second base with his 4th double.
Miguel Sano, the batter. Sano in right field. And a little bit outside, ball 1. Two balls, no strikes.
That looked like a breaking ball to me, like a curveball. He's tried a couple of them, and you know what? He did that in his last start, but he started to get a feel for the curveball a little later. He's thrown a couple now, and just maybe a little too hard early in the game. He'll get a feel for it because it worked well last game.
3-0. Walked him on 4 straight. Out goes Yan Gomes. Young Ho Park. We'll bat now. Our first look at the Seoul, South Korean native.
I have watched this guy a couple of times on television in Twins games. He takes a healthy cut. He does not get cheated. He likes the ball away. But when he can get into it, he can hit it a long way and hit the bulk. His power is going to be into the center part of the field. He can hit it a long way deep to center.
Danny Salazar can't throw a strike all of a sudden. A lot of pitches here in this first inning after he had 2 quick outs.
Yeah, 14 balls and 10 strikes. There you go, right inside, ate him up.
Uribe makes the play himself, and the inning is over. After 1, no score in Minneapolis. The Minnesota Wild, the NHL team here in town, taking in tonight's ball game. They were eliminated from the NHL's first round playoffs yesterday in a wild game, no pun intended, against the Dallas Stars. 5-4 was the final.
I think one of those guys are Jim Murphy.
I'm going to say no. Mike Napoli looks at a strike over the outside edge. Tommy Malone, the left-hander, fires, and Napoli takes. It's inside 2-1.
Back to back. You see, he goes in there to make that outside part of the plate take you off of it. But he missed both times in there. Napoli was able to take him for balls. You got to prove he can throw it in there for strikes. There's one in there, but he took it. That one had the plate.
Would not chase, and a full count. Mike Napoli, #1 in the American League, averaging 4.89, so roughly 5 pitches per plate appearance, and this will be number 6. Punched it toward right field. In comes Miguel Sano. One away. Our stat of the game brought to you by Buick. During the Indians' current 5-game road win streak, They're averaging almost 6 runs a game, and the opposition is barely averaging a run per contest. You outscore them like that, that usually leads to victories.
Yeah, look at the pitching is dominated. Starters ERA, bullpen right there, and they've been scoring.
Carlos Santana, long swing is all of a sudden back as he swings through an 87-mile-an-hour pitch. I think on the follow through he nicked Kurt Suzuki.
Malone usually throughout the course of this year has been very effective the first time through the lineup. His batting average against is well below 200, but the second time you go through it, it's up around 400. They get a look at his pitches, they get an idea of what he wants to try to do, and they make adjustments. And if he's around for the third time, it shoots up over 500.
Santana on a 1-2 pitch lines it in the left field for a base hit, and the Indians have their first base runner.
Nice line drive stroke there. They had 3 guys on the left side of the infield for Santana there, but he finds left field. You can see it's a 2-seam fastball. Here it comes, and he tried to throw it inside. Carlos was waiting for it. So back into the number 5 hole, he gets a base hit.
And up comes Yan Gomes. Yan Gomes off to a great start against left-handed pitching this year, batting at a .320 clip. Not surprised to see Gomes go up aggressively.
Well, Yan hasn't had a lot of success against Malone. 1 for 13 with 5 strikeouts. So we'll see if he tries to run the fastball up and in and use that changeup down and away.
Popped up behind the plate. Suzuki back to the screen. No, he won't have a play. And Gomes. Another opportunity. One-on-one out here in the second for Cleveland. And Yan lays off. Ball and 2 strikes.
The teaser.
Santana taking his lead at first, hands on knees. Held there by Park. And Gomes down on strikes. It's the 3rd K already for Tommy Malone.
Comes back and gets Gomes with a changeup. Down out of the zone. It looks like it's there, and all of a sudden just disappears. So out number 2 for Malone.
And we'll get Marlon Byrd to the plate. Bird's done well already this year with men on base. He's batting at an even .300. Really turning up the heat here. Last several games. Lifted high and out of play to the right. You know, we've seen Bird drive the ball to right field. He hit a home run off Justin Verlander, driving it into the right field seats. And at times here at Target Field, if the ball's going to carry, a lot of times that's where it carries here to right field.
But you have to hit it high to get it out of here in right field.
That's true. Malone's 0-1. Called a strike.
He saw the approach from Bird trying to go the other way on that first pitch, so you combat that by going down and in or stay on the inner part of the plate, which was a very good pitch.
Bird laying off.
Malone made 2 starts against the Indians last year. The first one came in August the 16th. And he just returned from the DL. He had missed 14 games. He came back. He pitched 5 innings. He gave up 3 hits and owned one run. Last time he was filling in. It was a spot start for Phil Hughes, and that was late September, last homestand of the year. And he beat the Indians, and he went 5 2/3 innings. So he rarely is going to go more than 5 innings.
And a foul right back to the screen by Bird. Malone delivers, and Bird fights it off.
He sure did. He fought it off, just following it straight back. Seems like it's a guessing game here with Malone, in or out. But that one was in off the plate. But with 2 strikes, you have to protect as a hitter. But you can see how Bird brought the hands in and just followed it straight back.
Bird lays off. That goes all the way to the backstop. And Suzuki plays it on the rebound, but down to second base goes Carlos Santana. Did he get crossed up there, or did he just whiff on this?
Let's take a look at it and see. It's a curveball. It hits right out in front of the plate, and it took off. It hit the front of the plate.
Yeah, it sure did.
And it went the exact opposite way that Suzuki thought it was coming.
Took a divot out from the plate.
Yeah, sure.
So good at bat here from Marlon Bird. Trying to come through with 2 outs here. And he shoots it out of play.
You know, that's what Bird is doing a nice job. He's not getting the barrel head of the bat, but what he's doing is staying on his fastball. That'll help him stay back on his changeup a little bit more. He's not giving him many pitches to hit, but he's fouling him off. He's trying to get him to chase something down in the zone.
Oh, very close.
Yeah,
just missed inside.
Excellent pitch. You're sitting out there saying, I can't believe you called it. But see, those are the pitches he's been swinging at, and he's been fouling off. But that time he spit on it, and it was a ball. It was awfully close, but good at bat here. See if he can lay off one here if it's the same spot.
The 3-2. He ropes it down the left field line. Santana will score easily. Bird turns. He's going to try for 2. Here's the throw, and he is out. Well, that'll end the inning, but Marlon Bird delivers the 2-out RBI hit, and the Indians once again will play from in front. They lead it 1-0, but a nice play by Arcia to retire Bird to end the inning. outdoors.
It's a different one.
A little ahead of 4th of July time. Sure doesn't feel like summer. Chilly night here at 50 degrees at game time. Oswaldo Arcia leading off for Minnesota. And Danny Salazar's pitch down and in. Low again, 2-1.
Arcia, one of those guys, as far as experience goes, a younger guy, but we've seen him for the last couple of years, but he's never been able to really stick at this level. You know, he's had power. He's out of options. So another guy you can't send down, or, you know, somebody else may pick him up. So they're in that boat with this guy. He can hit the low pitch. He's got good power, but teams are pitching him upstairs, and he's not making an adjustment. They sent Buxton down yesterday, who is, their young man that they think is going to be spectacular, but he struggled, and the strikeout pitches have been hurting a lot of these guys. Dick Bremer told me that their outfield yesterday in that game against Washington struck out 13 times. Everybody in the outfield struck out at least 4 times.
That's a rough day, even though that was a 16-inning affair. And along those same lines, Rick, Minnesota over the last 2 games struck out 38 times.
Yeah,
that's the most by any team since 1913. And again, I know it was a 16-inning game, but still, that's a
lot of swings and misses. Yes. This is a team, though, last year we didn't, they came out and, they have some different. See, there's the high fastball. That's what he's susceptible for right there.
Danny gets his first strikeout. And let's go on to Andre Knott. Andre, Rick mentioned it earlier. He thinks the Twins are really missing Torrey Hunter. Anything to that?
Well, I think this is a conversation that we can go back to a year ago when we talked about Detroit falling apart a little bit after he left Detroit. And I know here Miguel Sano and some of these young outfielders that you guys were just talking about, they leaned on Torrey Hunter big time for a lot of the games. And you can even go back a couple years further. Think about the Angels and how they've kind of fallen since Torrey has left. I mean, you don't want to put it on one guy, but I know you talk to some of the Twins guys, they say just his presence and keeping guys calm has changed their clubhouse.
Well, you did an interview with him last year. Now, after wins, didn't they go in there? They were singing, they were dancing, they were partying around, man. And that's not around anymore.
It isn't, and winning helps do that, but he was a guy that kept them calm when things were tough. And I know Sano is the one that's really going through it the toughest right now because that was a guy he leaned on.
Yeah, and well, Sano's happened to be playing his position where Torrey was out there last year. You can't fill those shoes.
Well, and Torrey Hunter truly was another coach on the field.
Exactly. To me, that's priceless because that helped Paul Molitor as a manager because he was here for the first year, but Torrey knows exactly what Molitor has to go through, and he can relay it to the players like Giambi did with Tito.
Right.
In Cleveland when they went through their run there. A veteran player makes an enormous amount of difference. Not everyone. I'm saying the special ones. And Torrey Hunter special. Giambi was special.
I think sometimes, look, there's a reason why baseball guys, when they look to construct a team, they say you can't just throw all young kids out there on the field and expect it to work.
Talent.
You need some veterans. You need some experience. But to your point, if you have the wrong veterans, that can be a disaster too.
Yeah.
You have to pick the right guys who understand what it is to lead.
How many times do we hear, oh, he's a good clubhouse guy now? I get sick of hearing that. I really do. You know what? There's a few good ones. There's not that many good ones. When it comes to true veterans, it's the guys that were out there in the trenches, the war, they've been through it, they know how to win, they know how to deal with people.
Suzuki drawing a 2-out walk. Usually, if you're good in the clubhouse, it's
you're
because
close.
You're a good player. I mean, don't you think? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you have to be a good player. You have to be respected by the other guys and have been through it.
Because if you don't,
half the time, if you're good in the clubhouse, because if you can't play, you won't be there long.
Right, and if you're not playing, if you're not contributing, I'm not going to listen to you.
Yeah.
What do you have to offer, right?
No question.
Be quiet, old man.
Yeah. I hear that every day from Andre.
Two down for Danny Santana, just called back when the Twins made some roster moves before the game today. Rick just told you about Buxton being sent back. High fly ball to center, routine for Rajay Davis. And after 2 innings in Minneapolis, it's the Indians 1, the Twins nothing. First Avenue music venue. That's where Prince first took the stage, where he made his name, and where he never left. He never forgot his roots, where he came from. That venue is prominently featured in the movie Purple Rain.
That's right around the corner from where we're at.
Yeah,
right?
it's like literally 2 blocks from the ballpark.
We'll pass it on the way home tonight.
There's a sort of a makeshift tribute, because they have sort of like you think of the Walk of Fame in Hollywood. They have all the stars painted on the sides of that building of all the legendary music acts that have played there over the years. As Uribe singles to center field, and where Prince's star on the side of that building is, it's balloons and posters and just it's really pretty cool. Prince was born here in Minneapolis, 1958. 7 times a Grammy winner. And for a brief time, he changed his name to the unpronounceable symbol, and that was just because he was battling the record label for, you know, the rights to his music.
Yeah.
So he was a man of conviction, you know, according to those in the music industry who knew him, and a lot of them really respected and admired him. There it is. I just remember as a fan going, "What? You mean he doesn't have a name anymore?" I saw him in concert in Cleveland, Rick, and it was.
Did you?
At the Q, it was just phenomenal. 1-0 pitch. I mean, he was barely 5 feet tall, but just non-stop energy on stage. Yeah, just.
Well, certainly here in Minnesota, boy, the people certainly miss him.
Yeah, and there was a closeness because he never left here.
Right.
You know, still had his studios right outside of Minnesota. Yeah. 1-1. Ramirez lifts it foul. When you think about Wasn't all that long ago we lost David Bowie, so I mean, two really iconic music stars lost just in the last few months. Juan Uribe leading off at first base, held there by Park, and Ramirez looks at a ball in the dirt.
Well, the at bat that Marlon Byrd put up to get the Indians on the board this second was tremendous, because he had to fight his way back to a full count. He saw a number of pitches on the inside part of the plate, and right now Ramirez is swinging at him, fouling him off, and he's trying to get him to swing at that low breaking ball. But stay patient.
Got a piece.
The Indians already with 3 hits the first time through, and I told you he only gives up a 111 batting average first time through. Second time it goes up to 400. So we've got the leadoff man on deck. We'll see if Ramirez can get something going, get the last 2 guys on and set it up.
Chopped at third base side, just foul. Not by much.
No. Yeah, this doesn't look like we're playing the Minnesota Twins out here with the red tops and the red hats.
No.
Normally when these two teams play together, they could look identical. You know, when they take their batting practice and their jerseys and their tops, it looks like the same team is out there.
Line to center field, a base hit. And Jose Ramirez continues his hot stretch here. Rick, the count was 1-2 at one point. And just one of those odd or interesting stats. When he's been behind in the count this year, he's batting over 300.
Well, he caught a changeup and he stayed back. And this one was elevated, but it was high enough for him to keep his hands back, and really well done. So 4 hits through the first time through the lineup. All singles, but they are zeroing in on Tommy Milone.
Well, it's an Indians team that has been swinging the bats. 11 hits yesterday, 15 the day before. And Rajay Davis looks at a ball outside. He's hit in 8 straight games, going 12 for 35 during his streak. There's that good changeup off the end of the bat by Davis, 1-on-1. Rajay trying to pick up another clutch hit.
Well, the Indians have been outstanding on the road. They won their last 5 games out and about, and they couldn't have started this road trip off any better in Detroit than what they did.
I don't know what it is about Terry Francona, but you know, last year they were a better team on the road than they were at home.
Yeah, they played good baseball on the road. 32-43 against the Central. That has to be picked up this year.
Davis shoots it to the right, but it's going to slice out of play.
And we're playing our 6th straight here against Detroit, now Minnesota, and then 12 of the next 15, because when we go to Philadelphia for the weekend, we go right back home. We get Detroit, Minnesota again.
Yeah. Now the Indians running up the pitch count on Tommy Milone here in this 3rd inning. Nobody out. And Rajay Davis with a huge gap in left center field. Takes down low.
I meant Detroit and Kansas City.
Oh, when we go back home?
Yeah, when we go back home. I said Minnesota, but I meant Kansas City.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
I know it.
You see the outfield alignment. I mean, Archie is way back on almost on the warning track and left. Santana is in and over toward the right in center field. So all kind of room in left center. And Davis bangs it right to third. He'll step on the bag, go to first, double play. I'll tell you what. During the at-bat of Rajai Davis, I don't know if you noticed it, but our third base camera had a shot, and while Nunez was standing there at third base, he was gesturing like he was going to catch the ball, step on third, and throw for a double play, and that's exactly what happened.
Anticipating.
Yep.
That's all he's doing. He's, you know, he's going through his mind. If I get this ball, because not many times are you going to double him up if you got to throw to second base to get Davis. So he's pictured this whole thing, and it happened.
Boy,
that's how you play defense.
Huge lift for Tommy Milone.
Yes, it is.
And now he's going against Jason Kipnis, who struck out his first time up. Kip has certainly done his share of damage against Minnesota, hitting at a .297 average in his career.
Oh, a couple of years ago, he had a phenomenal year against him. What do you have, 20-some RBIs?
He's got 46 in his career, 6 home runs.
He had a monster year.
But he pulls that one weakly to first, and Park will take it himself. Boy, Indians had Tommy Milone on the ropes, but he escapes. Still 1-0 Cleveland. One to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Blankets are out, hoods are up.
Yeah.
A little chilly, but dry, like you said. The forecast coming in didn't look very good today.
No.
But we're good for today and tomorrow. Now Wednesday looks like a little rain, but nothing you can do about it.
I don't know about you, but when I woke up this morning, I heard thunder.
Oh yeah,
A lot of heavy rain.
I was out in the morning. I had the umbrella out, having to walk the streets.
Did it make it back in one piece?
Yeah, it was windy. Yeah, you're right. It had thunder.
One ball, one strike. It's nice to get a complimentary umbrella at the hotel, but when I was walking around today, I didn't know if it was coming back with me or not.
Yeah, lift you off the ground.
Like Mary Poppins. Eduardo Nunez grounded out his first time up. First time through the order, Danny Salazar struck out one batter. And I bring that up because in 2 of his last 3 starts against the Twins, he has struck out at least 10. So it's been a lineup that He's kind of had his way with.
We haven't seen a lot of his good changeups yet. It's been primarily the fastball and the couple of sliders I watched Johnny throw. I mean, he doesn't have a feel for it yet.
Well, still more balls than strikes to this point.
It's been a lot of fastballs. This has been basically it. You know, he hasn't been able to take the hitters off anything. He hasn't proven he can throw that splitter. You know, normally he's got a really good feel for that.
The 2-2. Beats it into the ground. Lindor off balance throw. Napa with a great stretch, and they got him one away. That was a sensational play once again by Francisco Lindor, because he's in the hole. Really doesn't have time to stop and plant and throw. He's got to just pick it and whip it quickly. And a perfect
he had
throw.
him. I'll tell you what, that's the art of playing shortstop, is knowing the speed of the runner that's going down the line and what you have to do to get rid of it. The best we saw at it was Omar Vizquel. Didn't matter how fast you ran or how slow. It seemed like every time it would be bang, bang. Pretty similar to that. That's all knowing the runners, the speed.
Brian Dozier fly to center his first time up. On away ball one.
He's trying for the breaking ball there. Danny did that. That was the changeup that Nunez hit on the ground. Good
low
fastball.
heater.
Yeah,
I mean, right at the
that's
knees.
a good place to keep it to Dozier right there. That was a low dart.
Low again with the fastball. You saw him shake off a number of times with Yan Gomes. He knows he's having a tough time with any of the off-speed pitches, but Yan also knows you can't just abandon everything.
Oh, he's going to continue to work him through this. You don't want to fall behind. You see, when you start falling behind guys and they're not swinging, and he's behind 3-1. He hasn't proven he can throw that changeup or slider, so it's tough to call for it. So you got to go right back to the number one.
Well, bullseye with a fastball. Remember, he was behind Dozier 3-0 his first time up.
Yeah,
and he came back to get him to fly out. Now, the problem for Danny, though, at this rate is it'd be tough to get deep into the game.
Yeah, pitch count's getting up there in a hurry. Oh,
with the shift on, that is a beautiful thing as Kipnis throws him out. Let's bring in Andre Knott. Andre, you know, we saw a year ago Danny Salazar, the stuff, the consistency though was lacking. How is Yan Gomes impacting Salazar's, let's say, his maturity and his growth?
I guess the best way to say it is he's trying to get him to trust him. You know, we talk all the time about what Gomes and Kluber have, and Gomes has told me, I want to build the same relationships with all these guys, so when I throw a finger down, even if they don't feel good about it, they can trust that I have their best interests at heart. He goes, and at times Danny would just keep throwing it hard, and I would say to him, just trust me, throw something else and we can get something going and build off of that.
You know, we watched it from his very first start in spring training against Cincinnati. If you remember, he went out and he struggled through the first inning, couldn't throw anything, and he was at his pitch count. But Tito and those guys let him go back out for the second inning. He went out and struck out the side, but he was doing something differently, and Gomes was in the dugout talking to him early. So it is about trust. Trust the guy that's back behind the plate. He knows the hitters. He's going to try and take a little pressure off of you as the pitcher. And, you know, Danny may have a tough time accepting that for right now.
Off-speed pitch.
Boy, those guys that are sitting behind the plate, they know what's going on. They do their prep work. They know the hitters. They know you. They get inside your head. They know what's happening. I mean, pitching coaches sit there and talk to them. What'd you see? What do you know, they're picking up, you know, their arm slot and little things like that. They know everything that's going on.
trying to paint the outside corner. And the thing I wonder about too, on a start like this for Danny, and for any pitcher in that matter, when you can't throw that off-speed stuff, is it just the feel? Is it your arm? You can't get it in the right angle?
Right now you don't know, but you're still going to have to throw it, whether you want to or not. You know what I'm saying? To prove it, you just can't go out there and throw a fastball.
Just like some games you can't throw your fastball for a strike. But what is that? You know?
I don't know. I was never a pitcher. I know one thing. Let me put it this way. If Yadi Molina's behind the plate, are those pitchers going to listen to him?
Yeah.
Every one of them do. I mean, so they should be in the same boat. I'm not saying Gomes is in that class as far as a defensive catcher goes, but he knows what he wants to do.
Well, he puts the work in.
Trust him.
It's not like he just shows up and said, hey, well, let's try this pitch. I mean, he goes over the scouting reports.
See, there's the slider. Gets the ground ball. Nice. Stay with him.
Well done here. Danny Salazar has his first 1-2-3 inning. He helped out with another sparkling defensive play by Lindor. One nothing. Indians lead it. And as we go to the fourth inning, Francisco Lindor, Mike Napoli, Carlos Santana do it. Nice pitch by Malone.
Well, Paul Molitor looking for a little more out of Malone tonight, the way their game was yesterday. He'd like to get him through 6. You can keep that pitch count down. Even get out there into the 7th if possible.
Up and away. Slowly tapped in. It's going to stay foul. Our great clip of the game from yesterday in the Motor City. Francisco Lindor. 3 hits. He also walked. He was all over the diamond.
Yeah, he really was.
Scored a couple of runs.
Indians in the last 2 games there in Detroit did a great job hitting with runners in scoring position, 12 for 24.
Well, and the Indians, we talked about their road record at 6-2. One of the reasons guys like Lindor, in his 8 road games, he's batting .387. Oh, nice play at third by Nunez, and he spins around, throws him out, 1 down. Time now for an in-game update. Let's go back to the studios. Here's Al Pawlowski. Boy, and Miguel Cabrera is only a triple shy of the cycle. Now, if he hits a triple,
well, he won't. I don't think. But he can hit it deep enough. But, you know, they're taking frustrations out his right. But good, get hot when we leave.
Edwin Encarnacion is driven in 3 for Toronto. They lead the White Sox 5-1 in the 7th inning at the Rogers Center. Chicago had won 3 in a row heading into play tonight.
So we're facing Marcus Stroman tonight in Toronto.
Mike Napoli takes a strike. Kansas City's out on the West Coast. They'll play the Angels coming up in a little while.
The Angels, and then they go down and play, I think, the A's, and they're done with their West Coast swing.
That's it, huh?
As of May
for the whole year.
For the whole year.
Napoli cuts and misses. They already played Seattle out there. Must be, huh?
It was one of those two they played. Yes, they're done by May 1st.
Wow.
With the West Coast swing. Okay, they played Oakland, and then they'll head up to Seattle, and then after they play the Angels.
Napoli out looking. He doesn't like it, but Jeff Nelson punched him out. 2 down. And Tommy Milone, this second time through the order, has retired all 4 that he has faced, just like he did the first time.
There it is, fastball right there. Gets the call at the knees.
Here is Carlos Santana. He singled through the left side of the infield for the first hit of the night, and then went to second on a wild pitch, and that would be key because he came around to score on a 2-out single by Marlon Byrd. Had he not advanced on that wild pitch, he would not have been able to score on the hit by Byrd. Not from first base anyway. Broken bat. He's got his second hit of the night. As Santana bloops one to right center. A 2-out single.
Well, Indians baseball is live with the MLB.com at-bat app. You can stay connected all season with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Yan Gomes struck out his first time up. And takes outside 2-0. See how patient Gomes is in this at bat. There are 2 outs in the inning. Marlon Byrd would be next, and he drove in the only run of the game thus far with a 2-out base hit. 3-0. There's Byrd hoping for another 2-out opportunity. And Yan Gomes, who did not have a single walk in his last 12 games, has a free pass here, and that puts Santana in scoring position. So for the second time tonight, Santana gets into scoring position thanks to Tommy Milone.
Well, here's Bird in his first at bat. What a great job he did. He was down on the count 1-2 and worked his way back into it. Ended up hitting a single and driving in the only one, but he was hustling right out of the batter's box thinking double. He was thrown out. Arcia made a nice throw to get him and end the inning, but he drove in the only run of the ball game.
Now Bird fouls it off.
I don't think he's going to see much inside unless it's off the plate where he can't hit it this time.
And it is in off the plate where he couldn't do any damage with it. 1-1. One pitch. Hammered but fouled on the left side. They just had a note up on the scoreboard that said that Prince performed at George Lucas's wedding.
Oh yeah.
What are you supposed to tab for that was?
I don't think it really matters.
What do you think, honey? Should we get a DJ or Prince?
Or both.
One's going to be 500, the other one about 5 million. The 1-2 to Bird in the dirt, and the runners will both move up on the second wild pitch of the night by Tommy Milone.
Yeah, he didn't have a wild pitch coming into today, but it cost him back in the second inning, and it was that curveball. And normally, I'll tell you, Suzuki does a wonderful job at blocking the ball, keeping it in front. I thought he was going to catch that ball.
I do too. He let that really travel deep
because the hop was not that deep, and it went off the heel of the catcher's mitt, and it deflected away. So this could see if they could take advantage of it. Nope.
High pop right field. Sano almost overran it, but he makes the catch to end the inning. No runs, a hit, 2 left in scoring position, and we go to the bottom of the fourth, 1-0 Cleveland. I was back and include your first drink. So grab some friends and catch the game from the corner on the new drink rails, or the new drink rails, I should say, in left field. It's available only online at Indians.com/district ticket. Bottom of the 4th inning, and the batter will be Miguel Sano.
This is a guy that the Twins have to get going. He has struck out 29 times so far this year. I told you in Detroit it was Upton who had 30, but that's just in 67 at bats.
Inside, misses with the fastball. 2-0. And that fastball finds the strike zone outside corner, and it's 2-1.
Pitch.
Wow, that's 96, and he just threw a low dart right at the knees. And it's back to even at 2-2.
Oh boy. You really don't get a good look at that pitch when it's going that fast and it's down where that was located. You see it, but barely.
And he struck him out with a beautiful changeup. Second strikeout of the night.
Not only was it a good changeup, but it was in a great spot. It's right where those low fastballs were going and then just disappears. This is going to be our Circle K strikeout. On the changeup there by Salazar. As you mentioned, the second strikeout and the first out here in the 4th.
Yeah, I noticed something on that pitch right there. Jensen Lewis heard us talking about last inning about, why is he having trouble with the off-speed pitches, and he said one of the things that happens with off-speed pitches, in particular a changeup, is he said sometimes you fall into a bad habit of slowing your arm down
to throw it,
and when you slow your arm down, everything goes out of whack, and so that could be part of the problem, because that last one you could tell he threw it with the same arm speed. That ball's hit hard.
That guy has great pop the other way.
And on the warning track, it's caught by Marlon Byrd.
Well, kids tickets start at just $10 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. Kids tickets are located in the family deck at Progressive Field, home to the expanded kids clubhouse. And kids tickets are only available at Indians.com/kids tickets.
Oswaldo Arcia, who struck out his first time up. And a strike gone. Arcia looks back into the dugout as if to say, I don't like it, but I'm not going to say anything to the umpire and get thrown out of the game. It's 0-2.
Well, there's ways of going out and telling him you didn't think it was a strike without, embarrassing him. You can ask him a question without looking at him, look down, clean up the dirt and say, boy, I thought that pitch was inside. There's a way carrying on a conversation.
The 1-2. And Arcia able to lay off. Arcia is a .293 career hitter against the Indians. We've seen him do some damage at times. Was that foul? One run on 5 hits for Cleveland. No runs, just 1 hit for Minnesota so far. That was a 2-out single, or double rather, by Joe Mauer in the first inning, and Arcia is out to end the inning. Third strikeout for Danny Salazar, and he is now set down 7 in a row. By Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by T-Mobile. Get major league coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year. Indians up 1-0, fifth inning. Juan Uribe will lead it off. He had a base hit his first time up. Uribe has 8 hits in his last 8 games.
Well, all the hits have been from 5 on down. First 4 hitters in the Indians lineup do not have one. Santana has a pair, Bird has one, Uribe and Ramirez. Nice curveball outside to get him.
Fifth strikeout for Tommy Malone. April in the OH continues tomorrow in Minnesota when the Tribe takes on the Twins. Ricky Velasco scheduled to go for Minnesota. Indians Live will start our coverage at 7:30. All the action begins at 8 on Sports Time Ohio. April in the OH is presented by Meyer. Jose Ramirez taking, and that's in for a strike. What happened to that Tommy Malone second time through the order stat we just threw up
Well, I'll
there?
tell you what, they flipped it on us. He went exactly opposite. From the 100 the first time through, the Indians were hitting 400. So he switched it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. He flip-flopped it.
4 hits for the Indians first time through, only 1 hit the second time around.
So he flip-flopped, and the third time's 500. So you flip a coin. I can't. I'm not saying anything anymore. Trends? Who knows? The big play was back in the 3rd inning when we started that second time through, where the Indians had first and second and nobody out. He got the big double play ball off the bat of Rajai Davis, and he settled down after that.
Now foul by Ramirez. Well, it would appear that there will be a third time through the order for Tommy Milone. He's only had 82 pitches. That and the fact that Minnesota's bullpen is a bit taxed after yesterday's 16th inning affair.
I don't know exactly who, because when we got here today it was a little later for them. It doesn't matter who can come out of there. There's some guys that I'm sure that can't pitch.
Full count.
But he's got to get through this inning first.
And Jose Ramirez with a sharp grounder to third. Nunez cuts it off and he throws him out. 2 down.
Well, one thing Tommy Milone has done is he's mixed it well. He's pitched inside. He's changed speeds. There's a changeup away to Davis to get him. There's a nice curveball to Kipnis. He's moved inside. There's a changeup to Gomes. He has 5 strikeouts. He's 1 walk. And another backdoor breaking ball. So he's made the adjustment the second time through. The Indians were able to get him the first time, but give him credit.
Rajay Davis fouls it off to the right. First time through, the Indians went 4 for 9 and scored the only run of the game. Second time through, 1 for 8 with a walk. He struck out 3 the first time through, 2 the second time around. Now what will happen third time through? That could be the difference in the game, really.
Yeah.
One thing, you don't expect this to finish 1-0. It's tough to see. You don't see many 1-0 games.
No, not anymore. You don't. They're out there, but rarely. I mean, we started this road trip out with a 2-1 game. Doesn't get money, much better than that. The Indians 2 solo home runs for their runs.
Two-1 hit right up the middle, and that's going to find its way into center field. A 2-out seeing eye single for Rajay Davis. Keep the inning alive for Jason Kipnis.
Yeah, he just reaches out, change up grip, sits down on the way off the end of the bat. He hit a good pitch. So Rajay made the adjustment. He hit the changeup and stayed on it. Didn't try to pull this one, hit it back up the middle. 2 outs now. We'll see if he can get a read.
9-game hitting streak now.
Milone looked like he had a pretty decent move earlier. He threw over there a couple of times. I forget on who it was, but he'll give Kip that hole maybe early unless he knows something about Malone's move.
And fastball strike. Well, the Chicago White Sox got to Marcus Stroman. They knocked him out in the 7th. And they got to Brett Cecil as well. They've taken a 6-5 lead over Toronto with a 5-run 7th inning.
They had a long one, boy. They did a lot of that with 2 outs too, I see.
Now Jason Kipnis has the count tip in his favor. Right-hander up in the Minnesota bullpen.
I like what Malone's doing. He hasn't thrown over there against Davis to give him anything to see. But he may go over there now in a 2-1 count. Don't know if he wants to throw the curveball here. If he does, he could want to keep that guy a little closer. There it is. Okay. No problem for Rajay.
Rajay takes off. Kipnis swings
Got the
through
breaking
it.
ball. Yeah, he had a beautiful jump.
Davis with his 6th stolen base on the year.
Just a great jump. He figured he threw over there twice. He's not going to come over again, and he threw the breaking ball to Kipnis. Kip swings, misses. Rajay, good base stealer, gets the bag.
Only Jose Altuve of the Astros with more steals than Davis. Now can Kipnis bring him home with a 2-out hit? He
sure
lines it
can.
into center field. Coming around third, Davis will try to score. Santana's throw is not in time. It gets spying all the way to the backstop, and Jason Kipnis will move in a scoring position.
Now that's when stolen bases are paid off right there. When it meant something, 2 outs, you had to go. It was a 2-1 count. He stole it. Kipnis comes up, gets a base hit just following it, and he goes in head first. He left a breaking ball up. Kip didn't pull off this one. Drives it right back up the middle, and in comes Davis head first. He's going to score to throw a little bit offline, where Suzuki couldn't grab it and go back. So give Kipnis the RBI. That's 7. He'll go down to second after the ball gets away. So the Indians have it 2-0. Nice running, nice hitting.
Oh, they charged the error to Kurt Suzuki on that.
Well, you know, he was too quick. He should at least block the ball. Sometimes you got to try and catch it first before you can tag him. He wanted the tag, and that enabled Kipnis to go to second because he wasn't running on the throw.
They're going to intentionally walk Francisco Lindor.
Well, it makes sense the way it's gone tonight. Lindor, even though he doesn't have a hit, he hit the hard ball hard last time, and he's been able to get Napoli fly ball to right, and he struck him out the last time.
Well,
unless Molitor wants to go to the bullpen.
And he may, but I'm just trying to think of other lineups. So Miguel Cabrera, obviously he hits third, so you might walk him, but not many times do you walk a 3-hole hitter to get to the cleanup guy.
Well, let's see if he wants to go to the right-hander. He does. So that makes sense.
So he knows the stats, he knows the numbers. Third time through is usually a disaster for Tommy Milone, and the Indians were zeroing in on him.
2 for 2, third time through.
Yep. So a timeout here in Minneapolis. The Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made for right-hander Trevor May. Tommy Milone goes 4 2/3 innings here tonight. We'll be right back with the Indians on top 2-0. Alone out here in the 5th inning. He's only given up 2 runs.
Well, he was in the same boat last time, but what they did, they took advantage every opportunity they had when they throw the wild pitch and Santana goes to second base. Bird has a terrific at-bat, drives him in with the 1 run. And then Davis, after 2 were out, Gets on first, base hit, steals the base, and Kipnis takes advantage of it. Good, great stolen base, good 2-out hitting, something that the Indians did well in Detroit the last couple games. And Malone coming out for the second straight start, 4 2/3 innings. Last time he left with the bases loaded. They all scored. We'll see what happens tonight.
Well, Mike Napoli 0 for 2 on the night. Trying to do some 2-out damage here. Takes a strike. Trevor May's 10th appearance on the year.
Trevor May, a big guy, 6'5", 240 pounds, 26 years old. Good
Threw the fastball by him on the outside part of the plate. He'd been a starting pitcher but went to the bullpen a year ago. Almost took the arm of Suzuki off. Fastball at the knees, and now Napoli is out looking. But Rajay Davis and the speed combines to give the Indians a 2-0 lead here in the 5th inning. Spinning Prince tunes throughout the evening, keeping the crowd entertained. Right now, Danny Salazar has been doing some entertaining, but the Twins fans don't like that part of the dance
music
card.
the music he's playing.
They don't like the tunes he's spinning. He's given up just 1 hit and struck out 3. He's walked a couple. Up and away. Called a strike, and now Eduardo Escobar not happy. right back. Boy, Chris Archer had a fantastic outing tonight. He shut out the Baltimore Orioles, a team that has been rolling, especially on offense.
CG
with 6 2/3, 5 hits, struck out 10.
Okay.
And then 4 relievers combined to finish the job. Off the glove of Salazar.
Oh, the spin.
Lindor stayed with it and got him somehow. Some way he pulled it off.
The spin on that ball, because it hit Salazar's glove, you could see how he really stayed with it. Lindor, man, what a play. He caught it and got rid of it as quickly as he could, and going to be really close. Off the glove, do you see the spin? And he caught it, flipped it up, throws it over there, and boy, that angle's tough. They're not challenging, so obviously it was in time. Look at that, handcuffed him. Boy, that's concentration to the max right there. Oh yeah, just by a whisker.
Great second look, guys. That was awesome. And a perfect ending to the play for Lindor, who's been dynamite again tonight in the field with the leather.
Yeah, Salazar doesn't touch that ball. I think it's a base hit.
Outside, Suzuki has a very good eye at the plate. He's a product of that Oakland A's program where they work the count, take their walks. Even though Suzuki's hitting only 189 on the year, he walked his first time up. And now he's sitting with a 3-1 count. Strike call, not so fast, my friend.
Well, you get a look at a good 2-seam fastball. That might have been a little low, but he got a call there, 3-1.
I know that same pitch was called a ball earlier. I'm trying to remember what hitter it was.
There's been a couple down there, but that one was a little low.
Popped him up.
That's where
so Suzuki's really upset. He went from having a walk to popping out 2 down.
Well, you know, he'll have a talk with him when he comes back out.
Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk. Carlos Carrasco put on the DL today, expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. That's just until he can get back into rehab situation. So it might be much longer than that until we see Carrasco. Hopefully it won't be. Tommy Hunter, he's getting close. He might be ready to join the ball club by this weekend. Danny Santana swings at the first pitch and fouls it out of play. Well, Nathan Eovaldi has spun a no-hitter through 6 innings against the Rangers in Texas.
No kidding.
Yankees lead 3-0 as they go to the 7th.
Well, that'd be a tough place to pitch a no-hitter.
Just thinking that. Right back up the middle. Lindor can't pick it up cleanly, and this time he won't have a play.
Well, he got there in time. Looked like it hit him in the heel of the glove. Check it out. There it is, right in the heel.
They're going to give him a base hit, and I think that's a good call. He had to go about 4 or 5 steps to try to get to it.
Yeah, but that's a play Frankie should make. He knows that, although they do give him a hit. Second hit of the day.
Oh, he's shaking his head. He's upset. He felt like he should have made the play.
Of course he should have. He knows any good defensive fielder, I don't care what position you're playing, when you get to a ball like that, there's no doubt. I've seen him make plays that 10 times better than that. That one was right there. He was going to the ball just came up and hit him in the heel. You know what? That's fine. There was scored an error, but I guarantee you go ask him after the game, he will tell you, no question, I should have made that play.
Eduardo Nunez is 0 for 2, and he was robbed of a hit by Lindor his last time up. It's foul at the first base side. Salazar sitting at 85 pitches.
It was late.
Oh, they almost had him. It was very close, and Napoli's looking into the dugout almost as if to say, hey, boys, take another look. I think we had him.
Well, he's looking in there, so I'm sure they will take a look.
Terry
Francona. That's
good.
You know what? That's what you need. He was leaning to second base. Now, where was the tag applied? Was it on the elbow? They're going to look at it. Let's go. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. No,
I think he got him. I think he
had on the elbow before that glove hit. Well, he was leaning the wrong way. That's for sure. You know, Napoli wouldn't have said anything unless he knew. He absolutely felt that they got him. So it's worth taking the look because you can get out of the inning. On that one that they're showing on the scoreboard right now, and the players are looking. It's hard to tell where his hand was.
You know, you're right, Rick. It's hard to tell.
This is the one. It's hard to tell if his hand hits the base. He's out.
I think he's out there, but
yeah, he's out. He's out.
Is it conclusive though, in your mind? Trying to be objective.
Last time I looked at it, it was. You know what? Because his fingers were up in the air. They weren't down in the bag. So I think the Indians are going to get a break here and get out of this inning. That's why it's worth challenging. And Napoli looked right into that dugout and said, I had him, Skipper. It's worth taking a look.
Now Mike Barnett, who's the video replay coordinator for the Indians, he obviously thought he had a good look at it and told Terry told Brad Mills it's worth a challenge. Why not?
Absolutely right, because you get out of this inning now and it's over. No base running, you don't have to throw another pitch. Here we go again. This is the angle. Watch the tag on the elbow before the hands, and the fingers are going to be up in the air before they hit the base. They're not there yet. They're not there yet. There's the tag, and the fingers come up and then get to the bag. So I would say, yeah, I think he's out. But then again, I've said that last year. They leave it as it is.
The other thing too is, I don't know exactly what the ruling on that was, though. If he got to the bag, his hand's off the bag, though. You know what I'm saying? His hand came off the bag.
Yeah, that's why he's saying he's out. There we come. Let's see. Oh, boy. Look at Napoli's upset. They do that a lot. Call stands. The call stands. Well, to me, it was worth the challenge. Look at Napoli. He wants to talk to him. You can't watch his reaction. Come on, come on. He knows he's going to call it. He can't believe it. He's a little upset, and there was nobody closer to that play than he was.
Another close one.
No, he balked. He balked. Yeah, he balked. The home plate umpire, he said it was like he never even lifted the front foot. So Jeff Nelson says no, and you can't argue a balk, so be careful over there in the dugout.
That was Mickey Callaway who was trying to stick up for his pitcher and claim he did not balk. And he is not happy.
Well, let's take a look and see. You must step over there. Yeah, you see the front foot never lifted. That I would agree with him. Okay, you got to get your composure.
Wow. Really good looking pitch, and that's called a ball. In the air, right field over near the line. Bird, a long run, running out of room. And can't make the play. It's a foul ball.
He was getting to the wall just the same time he was trying to catch the ball. And we lost sight of him, so I didn't see what happened.
Well, it was either catch the ball or run through the fence.
Let's see. He had about a half a step. He knew he was getting to the wall, and maybe didn't have enough time to take one quick peek to see how close he was, but it was about 6 inches. But you got to understand, you're on a dead run going right to that wall, and you can't catch it and keep going. Those are the plays a lot of times you see guys slide and go in to try and catch it. He couldn't do it. It was up there too high.
Trying right field again. This one, though, Napoli's over near the railing. He can't get to it.
First row.
Think about the close calls unfolding here in the back part of this inning. They nearly had nearly had Santana picked off at first base by a whisker. He's called safe, and the review was not upheld. And then you had Bird just missing that catch by inches. Napoli, maybe another foot he needed to be able to make the catch. Ooh, inside he missed. Tried to throw a breaking ball, but just he's been inconsistent with that pitch tonight.
It's all right. He got underneath it and stayed inside. Never really came back down, but this is the guy you want here. You don't want to face that guy on deck. You can be aggressive and go at this guy, even though it's a full count.
And the payoff. He's fought off. Salazar's pitch count already has hit 90. And we're only in the 5th inning.
Yeah.
That's why this is really an important pitch right here to try and end it and get out of the inning.
A busy first, 25 pitches, and right now 21 here in the 5th.
Again, the 3-2, and it's low, ball 4. Well, that's not good for Salazar. He's going to have to use up more pitches, and he's going to have to face Brian Dozier. And now it's going to get a visit now from Mickey Callaway.
Well, 2016 season tickets are still available and include 8 different plans that they offer you. When you buy a prorated 20-game plan, you'll get up to 12 games for free. Visit Indians.com season tickets for more details.
And Brian Dozier looks at a fastball for strike 1. Fastball took off on him. And the count 1-1. Again, that pitch was just called a strike a few batters ago.
Well, let's take a look and see what you think. Again, that was down. It was called a strike, but this time it is not. It's called a ball. And that's all you want is consistency, whether you're a pitcher or a hitter, from the umpires.
Nice job by, well, Gomes didn't find it in time. It didn't get away, and it looked like Gomes was going to pick it up and throw him out of third, but he just couldn't quite locate it quick enough.
It was underneath him, right, caught in between his feet. You know, and they were off, and whoever, you know, Santana at second picked it up very well.
Hit the umpire's foot. That's why Gomes couldn't locate it.
Okay. Well, now Minnesota with the tying runs in scoring position. A base hit could tie this game up.
Second, and he's safe.
Well, he was behind Dozier. Dozier, a guy that has had success against him. He was looking for the fastball. He got it. Let's see where the location of that fastball is, and it's right down Broadway. So he rips a double down the left field line and ties the game up. And here you go. You got a base hit, a walk, and a wild pitch, and a double, and we have a new ball game.
Gonna walk Joe Mauer. A foul ball that was just inches away from being caught. A pickoff play at first base that they thought they had. And Minnesota has taken full advantage of those opportunities. Marlon Byrd got right up against that wall, but that wall was about to knock him back a few steps if he'd have tried to make that catch.
And out comes Francona. So Danny Salazar's night is over. Happened quickly. He goes 4 2/3.
Well, again, he had retired 9 in a row and looked like he was on his way to cruising through, but Danny Santana reached on, again, it was ruled a base hit, but a play that Francisco Lindor probably should have made. That's the way this inning has gone, just beyond the Indians' grasp, and Minnesota has pounced. Salazar. 8 straight he had retired before this play. It probably should have ended the inning.
Should have ended the inning. Pickoff play that they challenged, and the call stands. They balked him to second base. A foul ball that Bird doesn't get to, and it just falls in to stay alive. He walked. That's the big pitch there. He walked a guy, and then a wild pitch, and then a 3-1 fastball that's very hittable for Brian Dozier.
Miguel Sano, the batter, and Manship gets him to swing and miss. Sano walked him to first, struck out in the 4th.
You know, if I go back in that sequence and I look at that inning, of course he had to work hard to get out of it. But when he had Nunez 3-2 count, the walk there, he shook off Gomes with a fastball and threw a changeup for the walk. And he hadn't had really good control with his changeup tonight. That's the one I disagree with, because that puts a tying run on plate or on base.
It's been an inning filled with what-ifs for
Yes,
the Indians.
Sure has.
And they have, unfortunately, given Minnesota a lot of life. A team that hasn't played very well. They've lost 3 in a row, coming off a 16-inning loss yesterday. Manship trying to keep it a tie game now. We're only in the 5th inning. And that's going to get in. Coming around third, Dozier will score the go-ahead run. And Minnesota leads it 3-2 on a ball that wasn't even hit that hard, but boy, did it find the perfect spot to go to. It barely made it to the outfield grass.
Well, he goes inside out with the approach, and they're playing him over, and that slider just sort of flat. Stayed right there, goes down, and you took it. Gomes wanted it away. It stayed there. Not that it was a bad pitch, but he goes inside out. You see where Kipnis was playing. With 2 outs, Dozier off and running on contact. He scores easily, so it's a 3-run inning. And trying to end it right here and keep it a 1-run game.
This has been the ugliest 3-run inning I think I've seen in a long time. Now the 8th man to bat is
the thing
Byung-Ho
of it
Park.
is, when they're down, you have an opportunity to get them down. You give them any life, and now they took advantage of it. So this is a team that, boy, you're right. They were swept over the weekend, but you cannot give them any breaks. And I think they caught a couple of breaks in this inning. And then they took advantage of it. Long way to go. Still left in this one.
Pulled foul. To Lindor. He'll go to second. That'll end the inning. But Minnesota takes advantage of a number of golden opportunities, and they have taken a 3-2 lead.
numerous perks, including savings and access to Tribe Rewards. Today's Tribe Rewards TV code is Roberto. Visit Indians.com season tickets for complete details. Well, it's time to come back and score.
Carlos Santana will lead it off here in the 6th inning. And it's down and in ball 1. Neil Walker has hit his 8th home run of the year tonight for the Mets.
Wow, that's surprising, isn't it?
How many
for him?
And he doesn't have a double. He's got 8 home runs, no doubles.
Bingo, you get to cruise. Doubles will come.
Mets lead the Reds 5-3. They're in the 9th.
More action out in the Twins pen.
Santana takes 2 balls and a strike. He swung through it. Big swing on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, he comes right at him. You get a good fastball to hit. Swing a little too long there for Santana, but he swings through it. Got one more left.
And a bouncer to first, dropped by Park. He recovers, and they get Santana one away. Nathan Eovaldi lost his no-hitter in the 7th, but Yankees still leading 3-0 over Texas. And Yan Gomes, who has struck out and walked tonight, fouls a pitch off. And that pitch is hit on the ground to short. Low throw, and it's unable to be dug out by Park.
Yeah. Should be an error on Escobar.
And it will be.
He had him. The throw goes into the dirt. Park picked it, but couldn't hold on to it as Gomes is going to go through the bag. Watch the ball come out of his glove and then pick it again. That was pretty close. Let's see. They're thinking they may want to challenge it. That was really close. Did he have possession of it by the time Gomes' foot got on the bag? I don't know. I mean, how much time do you want to? Let's see. Missed the base there. Ooh. Oh, and then he drags the toe. That could be worth a look.
How long is Jeff Nelson going to give him
I
to
really
hold
don't
this
know.
over?
I don't know.
Don't worry, guys. We'll just wait on you.
if they're asking for a manager's challenge or you either, a crew chief. I don't know if that's. They're going to come back. They're going to look at it again. They're going to review it.
Well, I read earlier where replay challenges this year are already up 35% from where they were a year ago at this time. And on Sunday, we had the most ever in a single day with 18 replay challenges. And I think if they look at that, I think he's going to be out.
Well, who knows? I thought he was going to be out over at first base, before. So we'll see. Does he have possession? Where's the ball in his glove?
If Yan Gomes hits the bag in normal stride, it's not even a question.
Right.
The fact that he missed the bag with his first.
And then drag his toe over the top of it.
That's what made it really close. And gave the Twins an opportunity to at least challenge it. The other question, Rick, is when did Park actually have possession of the ball? It looked like he was juggling it, bobbling it.
We'll never see it. It was in the middle of that big first baseman's glove.
Well, then if that's the case, they've got to go back to the same ruling they made last inning, which is stay with the call on the field.
I mean, you look at that angle, he looks safe. You look at this angle, it's much closer, but you can't see where Gomes' foot hits the base and where the ball is. Cincinnati trying to dig some information out of him.
Every call has gone the Twins' way, starting with the last inning. And there are now 2 down. Again, it's just the footwork for Gomes cost him. I give up.
Well, they may have other angles that we don't see, but
Marlon Byrd is 1 for 2. He drove in a run with a 2-out hit back in the 2nd inning. Down low. Threw it by, good fastball, 1-2. Hit hard right field. That's going to get down and go to the wall. Miguel Sano will try to dig it out, but not before Marlon Byrd has a 2-out double. And the Indians have had a number of 2-out hits with nobody on base tonight to try to get some rallies started.
Their first extra base hit of the night, and Byrd does a nice job not over swinging. Just look at that ball down and away. Just goes the other way with it, slaps it that way, and gets it down into the corner. So nice piece of hitting there.
It's the 3rd straight inning. The Indians have tried to start a rally with 2 outs and nobody on base.
Hard to do, but there is that runner in scoring position, and a base hit could tie the game.
Juan Uribe is 1 out of 2 on the night with a base hit. And now that'll leave the count of 1-1. And a foul right back puts him in the hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Marlon Byrd in scoring position. And with 2 strikes, Santana, the center fielder, moves over toward right center field from left center.
I was just watching that myself.
And Uribe goes chasing to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-2 Minnesota. Local Toyota dealers. Indians made it 2-0 in the 5th inning on a 2-out RBI single by Jason Kipnis. But in the bottom of the 5th, it all came apart at the seams. Brian Dozier, after a number of weird instances, went against the Indians. Dozier delivered the 2-out, 2-run double, and then Sano broke the tie with an opposite field leading single, and that's a 3-2 Minnesota lead. New pitcher for the Tribe is left-hander Ross Detweiler. You have the left-handed hitting Oswaldo Arcia, and then switch hitter Eduardo Escobar, and right-handed hitting Kurt Suzuki due up here in the 6th. And Detweiler's pitch in for a strike.
Yeah, they sent 8 men to the plate last inning. Pumping strikes.
And now 1-2 the count. Off the thumbs, fouled over the Indians dugout. Down there, Andre. Oh, did he actually make a play on that ball?
He's got the ball, I think.
Look at him.
What's he doing with that hat on? Where'd he get that? Oh, I can't. Yeah. Got to keep that skin warm.
Another foul ball by Arcia. Two and two the count. Arcia has struck out twice tonight. And a weak bouncer back to the mound. Almost threw it over Napoli's head. One away.
A little too much momentum. They're laughing about it right now. Napoli saying, can you get that down a little bit, please? Watch, he jams him. I mean, this is getting really deep into the kitchen there. Comes out and he starts running over there. And with the flip, there it is. He's got to go up on his toe. But the first out.
And the batter is Eduardo Escobar, 0 for 2. Foul, third base side. Detweiler quickly ahead in the count. We're only in the bottom of the 6th. This game has kind of hit a log jam here in the last inning. Well, when you send 8 men to the plate and you get a couple of replay challenges, things of that nature, that'll slow it down. But the Indians looked like they were cruising on their way. Minnesota had just 1 hit going into the 5th inning. Lindor, off balance throw. He got him again. Unbelievable play by Francisco Lindor.
Better try somebody else.
Wow.
This one was a tougher play here because he had to get more on the throw and he realized it. And boy, did he ever. He has to go to it, the hole, 1, 2. And on that second step, he has everything he's got to fire a perfect strike to Napoli to retire Escobar for the 2nd consecutive time like that tonight.
Terry Francona will make a pitching change with 2 down and the bases empty. We'll be right back. Had some really sensational plays tonight.
Well, there's the first one. Escobar, and it was a beautiful play. This one had some spin on it, going off the glove of Salazar, the concentration level through the roof there. And then this last one right here. Escobar again. You better try someone else. Beautiful play as he's backpedaling around. Just perfect throw.
Yeah, that first one was actually Nunez back in the third inning.
Oh, it was?
Escobar's the one he got on the deflection the last time up. And then this time he gets him.
Okay.
On that ridiculous
all right, Escobar
throw.
had the spin. Okay.
So Java Chamberlain will come on with 2 down and the base is empty to face Kurt Suzuki and try to make it a 1-2-3 inning. 6th appearance. He's worked 4 innings. He's walked 1, struck out 1. Popped him up. Shallow right. Bird a long run in and makes the catch. And the Twins go 1-2-3. We'll head to the 7th. It's 3-2 Minnesota. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And by Ford, built Ford tough. (3-2) Minnesota here at Target Field, 7th inning, and the Twins go to their bullpen once again. Fernando Abad will come on to face Jose Ramirez, and then the top of the order. His 9th appearance, and he has been almost perfect.
Yeah, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts. Opposition hitting just 111. He was signed as a minor league free agent. You remember him with the Oakland Athletics last year. He led the Athletics in games pitched, 62.
Jose Ramirez singled in the 3rd, grounded out his last time up. It's been a strange game for the Indians. They've had 8 hits. They've out-hit the Twins 8-4, but a number of their hits have come with 2 outs, and some of them with 2 outs, nobody on base. Just haven't been able to string those hits together to put a big inning on the board. 1 away.
Well, yeah, 7 of the 8 hits have been singles. And like you mentioned, they get a couple of big hits. Bird had the one to drive in the run, and so did Kipnis, 2-out base hit. So that's how they've scored. They've been kept in the ballpark all night. No home runs.
Rajai Davis 1 for 3. He singled, stole a base, and scored in the 5th, extending his hitting streak to 9 games. Now the White Sox used that 5-run 7th inning to come back and beat Toronto, and they own the American League's best record now at 14-6. Davis has a base hit smoked into left field. Arcia is playing so deep once again. He's able to cut it off, and Davis is held to a long 1-out single.
He gets a breaking ball from Abad and just pulls it into the hole. Stayed back nicely. So a 1-out single for Davis, his 2nd consecutive hit.
Right-hander up now in the Minnesota pen as Jason Kipnis comes to the plate. Kipnis 1 for 3. He drove in a run with that 2-out hit in the 5th inning.
That is Presley getting loose in their pen.
Kipnis certainly has had his struggles against lefties early in the year, but at least he's faced a ton of them, so it's not a matter of not getting the reps, not seeing left-handed pitching. He's had a number of those, more than probably anybody would like to admit they've had to face so far this year. Coming into tonight's game, Kipnis 30 at bats against lefties, 32 against righties.
Yeah, they went there through 7 out of their first 11 games facing the lefties, but he got the base hit to drive in the 2nd run off Tommy Malone. On the breaking ball away, he stayed on it, went back up the middle. That's
yeah. What just happened? That was really strange.
Davis, third base umpire called it, I thought.
So it's no pitch, and Davis goes to second base.
It's a balk. 2nd one called in the game. Third base. Ben May called it. I heard it's a balk.
Well, the pitch looked like it was kind of coming in slow motion. I was trying to figure out what just happened there.
You know, watch. Look, that's the 3rd time.
Yeah.
I don't know if he said he didn't come set or what, but I heard the call, and then when I didn't see anybody with their hands up, I thought it was a fan, and I got deked. But third base umpire called it. So Davis gets himself down into scoring position. 2nd balk of the game.
And Kipnis takes a call. 3rd strike, 2 down.
This looked like a changeup right there. Boy, right there at the knees. You know, you don't know what's going to be called down there today, whether it's a strike or it's a ball. And Molitor going out. He's going to make the pitching change.
Timeout in the 7th. Minnesota leading it 3-2. Thursday, and we've got you covered with the Drennan Live Draft Special starting at 7:30. Bruce will talk to you about what's happening at the draft, and Ashley Collins will be in Berea to bring you updates. The Drennan Live Draft Special is presented by the Cleveland Metro Parks. New pitcher for Minnesota is right-hander Ryan Presley, and he'll be on to face Francisco Lindor with 2 down and the tying run in scoring position.
Presley pitched 2 innings yesterday in that Washington game, that 16-inning game, gave up a couple of hits and had 4 strikeouts.
Lindor 0 for 2 on the night. He was walked in the 5th. That gives him a walk in 5 straight games. Right now looking for the clutch hit, though. And to this point in the year, that's about the only thing that has eluded Lindor. He's just 1 for 12 with a runner in scoring position on the year. Down in the dirt. Fouled off, 2-2. Angels have jumped out to a 3-0 lead on the Royals. 3rd inning in Anaheim. I beg your pardon, 2nd inning in Anaheim. Wow, bounced well in front of the plate. Davis started for 3rd, and then he couldn't pick up the ball, and he ends up having to stay at 2nd base. Not really a big deal. He's already in scoring position, but
yeah, you got to make 100% sure you're going to make it if you take off. Well, he didn't realize it, and it was tough to pick up for him. There it was. He was going to go. He goes back, and then he didn't realize that Suzuki knocked it back behind him. So once you started heading back, there's nothing you could do.
Now the 3-2. Did he go? No, he did not. And it's ball 4, so he's walked for the 2nd time tonight. And the Indians have 2 on with 2 out. And Mike Napoli will be the batter.
Well, they had first base open. They were going to try to get Lindor to swing at a pitch out of the zone. He did not. So now it's up to Mike Napoli. See if he can get a big base hit here. You can see from the 7th inning on, 6 for 18, a couple of homers and 4 RBIs, and Napoli 286 with runners in scoring position. Maybe that's
swung out and missed. 1-1. Runners at 1st and 2nd with 2 down here in the 7th inning. Great speed on the bases if Napoli could find a gap here. Up and in. 2 balls and a strike. Took a look at second base, but Davis not straying too far. Now the 2-1. Napoli swings through it. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Elevates the fastball. It's a pitch you can't hit, but it's a pitch that Mike's been swinging at. And he comes up empty. That's one he's going to have to lay off.
Here is the 2-2. And a pop-up foul out of play to the right. Strike 3 called. And for Mike Napoli, that's now 10 strikeouts in his last 4 games. The Indians strand a pair. Stretch time in Minneapolis. (3-2) Minnesota, bottom of the 7th inning. Danny Santana will lead it off. He's 1 out of 2. He singled and scored back in the 5th inning. And a drag bunt, first base side. Napoli gets the tag on him, 1 away. Twins paying tribute all night long to the late music icon Prince. Prince Rogers Nelson was born not far from Target Field here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Passed away recently. Players wearing purple wristbands tonight have been playing all the hits that, and Prince had tons and tons of hits. Red Corvette bringing us back from the 7th inning stretch tonight. I understand they're going to be using that the rest of the year. Big bouncer to second. Kipnis will field it cleanly and throw him out 2 away. And that will bring up Brian Dozier. Dozier's been walking up to Purple Rain all night long. And he has the biggest hit of the night for Minnesota, because with 2 outs and 2 on and 2 in scoring position, he brought them both home with a double down the left field line over the bag at third off Danny Salazar.
Yeah, 3-1 pitch. It was a pretty good pitch to hit if you're Dozier. Comes down and keeps it inside the bag down at third base. Pass to Uribe, 2 runs scored. He eventually came in to score the go-ahead run on a base hit by Sano.
Fastball from Jabba Chamberlain in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Michael Brantley might be making his season debut here as a pinch hitter. The Indians in desperate need of some offense, down a run. Nice pitch by Jabba, drops in for a strike. You know, I said it at the time, I think it was around the 4th inning maybe, when the Indians were up 1-0. 1-0 games are so rare. You didn't figure that score was going to hold up. Then the Indians went ahead 2-0. Even at that point, you didn't feel like the game was secure by any means. Popped up foul out of play. But you know, after what the Indians did the previous 2 games with the offense piling up the hits and scoring a lot of runs, tonight it just hasn't materialized, even though they're 1 hit shy of double figures for the 3rd straight game. But too many of those hits came with 2 outs, nobody on base. 5 of the 9 in that fashion.
That's why it's so key if you're a pitcher to get that leadoff man out every inning if you can. Tough to get rallies going when you have 2 outs.
Even though that's exactly how Minnesota got their rally going. 2 outs, nobody on base in that 5th, and they scored all 3. Albeit with some strange plays mixed in. Now the 2-2. Beats it into the ground. Uribe. Low throw dug out by Napoli to end the inning. Minnesota goes in order. We go to the 8th. Still 3-2 Twins. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. (3-2) Minnesota, 8th inning. For Cleveland, Carlos Santana, Yan Gomes, and Marlon Byrd due up. Those guys want to see some hits. Santana has 2 on the night. Santana usually hits home runs against Minnesota. He's hit 18 against the Twins. That's more than any other opponent.
Yeah, and he has, I think, the second most home runs in this ballpark. Tied with Joey Bats. I think Big Papi leads the way. He's tied with Bautista for the most.
And a one-hop smash to short, and Escobar's throw. Oh, a nice dig out by Park.
There was a little spin on that ball as well for Escobar. He almost overran it. He had to come back and catch it off his hip. But he got it out in front of him, though. I'll give him credit. It's a nice pick on the back end of that by Park.
I'm not sure that ball wasn't by him on the other side. Watch where he catches it.
I think he must have hit it a little bit off the end of the bat, not as hard as we thought it was, and it had some spin. Look at, he's talking about it.
Shift on 3 to the right side for Yan Gomes and takes low, ball 1. 3 to the left side. Even the outfield pulled around toward left. Gomes with a long fly ball deep left center field, and we are tied at 3. Gomes with his 3rd home run of the year, and that baby was right in the old wheelhouse. He likes the ball down. He went down and crushed it. And his 1-out home run has evened the game here in the 8th inning. Watch the location of this pitch and where Gomes barrels it up.
Oh, down and in his nitro zone, and Presley gives it up, and boy, you knew that one was gone out into the Indians bullpen as soon as he hit it. Presley, that's his 3rd home run allowed, and Gomes, it's a big one because it ties the game.
Marlon Byrd takes a ball inside. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Byrd with a 2-out RBI knock in the 2nd and a 2-out double in the 6th. Chase that one, 1-2 the count. Now the 1-2 and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 away. Second strikeout for Presley.
Look at that, right down and in on the inside part of that plate. Boy, he likes that. Puts that front foot down and just extends through the baseball deep to left center field.
Juan Uribe is 1 out of 3 on the night. Pulls this one toward 3rd, and it's going to stay foul. You know, I was down there before the ball game. I didn't realize those benches are heated.
Yeah.
They have heaters underneath them. You sit down on the bench, it's like, oh, yeah. This might be the
They
only.
may need him for a couple of nights.
This might be the only dugout where guys actually sit on the bench.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody's usually up around the rail. Right.
But with a chilly temperature tonight, it's not really so much chilly. It's just kind of damp. It rained all day, and the temperature is only 50 at game time. A lot of guys enjoying that warm bench. Uribe down to the count 0-2 and takes inside. And that one took off to the backstop. 2-2. Angels now lead the Royals 4-0 in the third inning out in Anaheim. If you missed it earlier, Tigers beat Oakland 7-3. Miguel Cabrera a couple of home runs in that game, and Chicago came back to beat Toronto 7-5. And Uribe socks one to the alley in left center field. That'll get down, and that will make it all the way to the wall. And now the go-ahead run into scoring position here with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Uribe has 2 hits on the night.
Well, he gets a fastball 95, and that one was out over the plate. Second extra base hit in the inning. And boy, Minnesota, they see in shades of yesterday's game. They had an opportunity, chance for 2 saves in a ball game, and they blew both of them.
Tyler Naquin will come on and run for Uribe at second base. And let's see if Jose Ramirez can deliver a tie-breaking hit now. Ramirez is 1 for 3 tonight. He singled in the third. He has grounded out and lined out since then. Pulls that foul into the dugout.
That's what Tito's been doing with him anyway. Late in the game when Naquin goes in if they have a lead, but here you want the base runner for sure. Ramirez will go to third base. Naquin will go to center, and Davis will go to left.
And there's a ground ball off the glove of Park. He'll keep a run from scoring.
Boy, he saved a run, no doubt.
And Ramirez aboard on the infield hit, but if that gets by Park, the Indians take the lead.
Boy, I thought it was getting by him because I don't think Dozier would have had it. And that guy, and as any infielder with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, knocked the ball down. He does, because Dozier was diving forward as well. He wasn't going to get Ramirez at first base, but he saved a run.
Well, now we're going to see Michael Brantley make his season debut. He will pinch hit for Rajay Davis, because in this situation, pretty much have to pitch to him because first base is occupied now.
Well, and you know what? Now Brantley just goes to left field, and Naquin goes in at center. And Ramirez goes to third. So but you knew he was going to have an opportunity tonight with the game on the line if available. Well, here we are.
Michael Brantley, whose season was cut short when he injured that right shoulder here in September. And he takes a strike from Ryan Presley.
The Indians now with 3 hits in this inning have 12 on the night. But still just the 3 runs.
Brantley a miss. And it's 0-2.
Yeah, you don't see many swings like that from Mike.
Now the 0-2. That's down low. Boy, I'm just thinking about how tough that is. Brantley's been out, missed the first 16 games, gets activated tonight. Now his first at bat of the year is with the game on the line. So much for easing into it, huh?
Well, you love that as a hitter, man. You got to sit down, you got to concentrate, you got to get right back into the fold.
Already Presley's made 30 pitches here. Now the 1-2 coming. And Brantley shoots it foul the other way.
He's getting back into the at bat. What he's doing, he doesn't want to. He started him off with the slider. He doesn't want to get beat there, so he'll flip that fastball off until he can get something to his liking. This is a guy we always say he's never afraid to hit with 2 strikes, man. Good hitters thrive on situations like this.
Go ahead, run 90 feet away. Jose Ramirez is down at first, and Brantley drives one toward left field, but Arcia makes the catch, and that will end the inning. But Yan Gomes drives one into the bullpen, and we are tied at 3. To pitch here in the 8th inning yesterday in Detroit. Brad Ausmus, the Tigers manager, complained about Shaw wearing his wedding ring. It was a rubber wedding ring, one that you wear when you're playing sports so that you don't bust it up or bust your finger up. And then Ausmus came out a second time to complain about it. Shaw took the ring off. Ultimately had to be taken out of the game because he walked a couple of guys. Let's just put it this way, folks. A little bad blood brewing between the Indians and Tigers because of those shenanigans yesterday. Brian Shaw will face Joe Mauer, Miguel Sano, and Byung-Ho Park here in the 8th inning. Michael Brantley stays in the game. He's in left. Jose Ramirez moves to third. Joe Mauer tonight, 1 for 2. He was intentionally walked back in the 5th inning. Copley goes down and makes a nice catch for out number 1. Well, Indians fans, if you can't watch the games on TV, you can now stream them live on your mobile device. Just go to the App Store, download the free Fox Sports Go app, log in, stream the Indians wherever you go. 3-3 in the bottom of the 8th, and Miguel Sano, the batter, he walked in the first, struck out in the 4th, drove in a run, which was at that time the go-ahead run, with a single in the 5th. And he swings and misses for strike 1. Same pitch, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, he's been able to throw him right by him here in this at bat. You remember that other pitch that he got the base hit for? He just sort of fought it off on the inner part of the plate.
Now the 0-2, and there just has been no outside corner tonight. He went around. Sano strikes out, 2 down.
Well, here's your angle from high atop, and you can see there's really no question. If you hit the ball, it's a double.
I was going to say, if he makes contact,
yeah,
it's going to be out there somewhere.
Yeah, so I mean, as a hitter, you don't think you go, but that was an interesting look above. Usually we give you a side view. I sort of like that view.
Byung-Ho Park is 0 for 3. And Shaw, nice job of changing up on him with the off-speed pitch.
Well, that's what Brian's brought back into it now with that slider, and it takes everybody off the cutter. Everybody's been sitting cutter speed a little bit off his fastball, but that slider really is that like his changeup.
Blew it right by him then.
So a good fastball away, elevated. There you go.
Oh, up and in. See you later. Brian Shaw mows him down in the 8th with a couple of strikeouts. And we'll go to the 9th. Not enough at 3 apiece. Jensen. They're playing delirious here at Target Field, and that's what the Twins are going to be if this game should happen to go into extra innings.
Yeah, that's true.
After they played 16 yesterday in Washington, the last thing they wanted to see was this potential for this thing to go beyond 9.
We'll see if 2, 3, and 4 in the Indians lineup could make them a little delirious and put a run on the board. And turn it over to Cody Allen.
Kipnis, Lindor, Napoli will face Kevin Jepsen. 9th appearance of the year. He already has 3 losses. Kipnis 1 out of 4 with a run driven in back in the 5th.
Well, he's forced into actually in that closer's role because of Glenn Perkins, the left-hander on the disabled list.
Kipnis pops it up on the infield. 1 away. Well, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite, and Francisco Lindor once again has made a few sterling defensive plays in this ball game.
Yes, he has. Everybody's thinking they're in there, but he's getting it by about a half a step every time, doing exactly what he needs to do.
That's called a strike. Lindor is walked twice in his last 2 plate appearances. Jepsen quickly ahead of Lindor, 1 and 2.
Yeah, look at it. And then both those walks that Francisco had, there were guys in position to score, and they did not want to throw him many strikes. They tried to get him to chase after stuff, and then they went right back at it and attacked Napoli. So he may have to learn to get a little patient. Not everybody's going to try and pitch to you to get you out.
Can't wait to see what the Indians lineup looks like tomorrow with Michael Brantley's return. The 2-2, and Lindor tried to fight it off, and I guess he did. Wow,
that was the emergency swing.
Yes,
the
indeed.
Emergency hack. That ball was by him.
Emergency hack is better. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know how he got a piece of it. Look at it. Oh, it did.
Wow.
And he just, that's staying alive.
Jepsen's 2-2. Out of play. Mike Napoli waiting on deck. And Jepsen again with the 2-2. And Lindor lifts one to left where Arcia makes the catch. 2 down. And Mike Napoli, who's had a rough night, and he has not, I repeat, not been on the same page with home plate umpire Jeff Nelson. They had a pretty heated exchange after Napoli's last at bat ended for the 3rd straight time with a called 3rd strike. But cooler heads prevailed, and Napoli was able to stay in the game. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball. It started out fairly cordial, and then it got a little heated. And it one point, Nelson just kind of shooed him away.
And it doesn't matter. He doesn't know what the strike zone is tonight. He's just befuddled.
Well, if it's anywhere close, he better swing or it's going to be another ring up. Now the 0-2. Way outside that time. Tied at 3 in the 9th. 2 down, bases empty. And the 1-2 on the way to Mike Napoli. Jepsen is the 5th Minnesota pitcher to work here tonight. And they've got another guy up in the bullpen right now. And the 2-2. Napoli sends a towering pop to center. And we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Still tied at 3. To the game brought to you by Mazda. Indians try to keep their win streak alive on the road, but haven't been able to get the big clutch hits to break this baby open. And Brian Dozier got a key hit for Minnesota in the 5th and tied the game. All 3 of Minnesota's runs came in that 5th inning. In fact, outside of that 5th inning, the Twins have 1 hit tonight.
Yeah. I mean, they opened it up for him a little bit in that inning, and they took advantage of it, and that has been their only saving grace. So Zach McAllister's going to come out and try and put a 0 on the board to send it to extra innings for the Indians. Gomes tied this game with a solo home run. The Indians have out-hit the Twins 12-4. They have left 10 stranded. The Twins have left 5.
Oswaldo Arcia will bat to lead off the bottom of the 9th, and is swinging a foul back against Zach McAllister. Checks on a ball that's a little bit high, 1-1. McAllister has pretty much had Oswaldo's number. 0 for 6, 4 punchies. And he's ahead now, 1-2. Hit deep to right, and this game is over. Oswaldo Arcia, who had never had a hit before off Zach McAllister, hits one out of here, and Minnesota takes the series opener in the bottom of the ninth with a 4-3 victory. They didn't want to play extra innings, not after yesterday. And Arcia makes sure they don't have to here tonight.
Yeah, that was a no-doubter. He jumped on that pitch from McAllister. And boy, it left the yard, and there's some happy people, the ones that remained at this ball game. And boy, a tired bunch by the Minnesota Twins. I'll tell you, you got to tip your cap to them, because you know it's easy to give up, but they came battling back. The Indians gave them a little breathing room in that 5th inning, and that was all, like you said. They had one hit. Other than that, that was their second one, and it's a game-winning home run. So they had to a long day yesterday, disappointing day. And this is going to be our Pat O'Brien play of the game. The swing of the bat from Oswaldo Arcia, fastball right down Broadway, and McAllister knew it as soon as he let it go. And the Twins are going to win this one in regulation, 4-3.
Well, wasn't that the kiss? You just knew that was the kiss of death when they put that graphic up there. 0 for 6, 4 strikeouts.
So is that Murph's fault? It was. Well, you have to show what he had done to that point. But that goes to show you numbers can be skewed right there.
Well, it was a strange game, one that I think the Indians will kind of kick themselves in retrospect, because there were some opportunities there. They had the Twins sort of down and out, but maybe it was beyond their control, because there were some strange things that happened. A couple of calls didn't go their way. They did go the way of the Twins, and Minnesota took advantage, and they get the win here in the series opener. So that's going to wrap it up. 4-3 is the final. For Rick Manning and Andre Knott, I'm Matt Underwood. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Indians Live with Alan Jensen and Andre is coming up next.